I'm bored. I want to do something fun.
Oh! Where am I? What? Why am I 15 meters off the ground? What's happening? What's happening? Where am I? Oh my God! Ah! Oh. Where's the road? Where's the road? Where's the road? Oh God. How are we gonna get down from here? Oh my God. That was terrifying. But I'm here, so I guess I might as well do a video.
Welcome to Wheels Boy, where we cover the newest, coolest, and wildest vehicles from the Chinese car market. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. What if I told you to picture a 4x4? You probably thought of something that's tough, right? Something big, brawny, broad-shouldered, maybe even a little bit brutal. But what if I told you to picture a plug-in hybrid? Now you've envisioned a Prius, or maybe some kind of plain Jane jelly bean-shaped mid-sized SUV. Now I want you to try and put those concepts together in your head. What would that look like? I think it would look like this, the GWM TANK 700 Hi4-T, a large SUV with an exterior that's beefy enough to increase your testosterone levels just by looking at it, and yet packs a plug-in hybrid powertrain that will make you feel like Mother Nature's new best friend. The secret to that combination is Hi4, GWM's ultra-hybrid four-wheel drive platform, which is actually part of the brand's pan-combustion engine strategy that they revealed at the recent Shanghai Auto Show. It is a plug-in hybrid powertrain that comes in a variety of flavors, but in the Tank 700, it's a 3-liter turbocharged V6 that's combined with a front-mounted electric motor and a large battery pack. When you put that motor and engine together, you get 385 kilowatts and 800 newton meters of torque. The Tank brand is all about going off-road, so that Hi4 system needs to be at its best when you leave civilization behind. PHEV powertrains are high-tech, but the refreshing thing about the Tank approach is that they back up that high-tech with some good old-fashioned hardware. In the case of the GWM TANK 700, that means front, center, and rear locking mechanical differentials. Compare that to some other Chinese SUVs, which like to use individual electric motors at each corner in order to increase their off-road performance. This has its own advantages. However, because those electric motors are not physically connected to each other, that means that they can't send their torque from one wheel to another. With 3 locking diffs, the GWM TANK 700 can. Think of it like Voltron, where all the individual robots can't defeat the big bad guy until they come together to create one giant robot. Except for in this case, the bad guy is deep mud or loose rocks. Vehicles with the Hi4 system come with a large battery pack that's enough to give them a decent pure electric range. In the case of the Tank 700, it's 37.1 kilowatt hours and has a WLTC range of 90 kilometers or about 57 miles. That's enough for many people to complete their weekly errands without having to charge. But if you did need to charge, this can fast charge, which means 30 to 80% in as little as 24 minutes. It also means this truck has a bit of a split personality. You see, if you put it in EV mode, you can just smoothly waft down the road quietly, maybe enjoying the sounds of Mother Nature herself. Or you can put it into hybrid mode, turn on the 3-liter turbocharged V6 and pound your way down the road. It's a little bit like someone who loves to do yoga, but prefers to do it while listening to heavy metal. But if you're going to take a plug-in hybrid off-road, and I mean really off-road, it needs to be able to survive the experience. That includes fording waters that would turn many other plug-in hybrids into oversized paperweights. That's why the batteries on vehicles with the Hi4 system are dustproof and waterproof. If you're going to take a plug-in hybrid off-road, I mean really off-road, it needs to be able to survive the experience, and that includes fording through water that would turn most hybrids into oversized paperweights. That's why the battery packs on tank models are waterproof and dustproof. In the case of the GWM TANK 700, that means a wading depth of up to 970 millimeters. That's deeper than a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. If the combination of this exterior styling and that plug-in hybrid powertrain gave you split personality vibes, just wait until you see the interior of a TANK 700. TANK is GWM's high-end off-road brand, and this is their flagship model. So it's no surprise then that the interior feels pretty darn luxurious compared to the Spartan interiors of most 4x4s. It has real leather seats with heating, cooling, and massaging function. It's got a 16-speaker Harman Kardon surround sound audio system, a 16.2-inch center screen, and a 12.3-inch instrument cluster screen. The tagline for this car should be GWM TANK 700, for when you want to conquer the world, but you want to keep your butt at the perfect temperature while doing it. My favorite parts, however, are the stylistic touches, such as this piece that runs from the door panel across the dashboard all the way to the other door panel. It looks like it was machined from a single piece of aluminum. I also really like this single strip that runs along the dashboard and integrates a bunch of physical buttons. Yes, a car with a big screen and physical buttons. I hope other manufacturers are paying attention to this. Speaking of physical buttons, you've got a bunch of them underneath the screen here, and that screen has a very cool bezel around it. This is something I haven't seen in other cars that I can think of, and I think it looks a little bit more deliberate, maybe, stylistically, than just slapping the screen onto the dashboard and calling it a day. If you lay down the center armrest here in the back seat, you will find a 7-inch touchscreen. This is used to control various functions, including your air conditioning, your media, and, you guessed it, your heated, cooled, and massaging seats. It also has electrically adjustable rake, as you can also see. This thing has a 3-meter wheelbase, which means you've got a ton of leg room. It's also got a big square shape, so you've got a ton of headroom as well. Because of that big square shape, behind the second row, you've got a very capacious cargo area. Because why should you have to leave your luggage behind when you go conquer the world? Vehicles equipped with the Hi4 system, including the TANK 700 or this Power pickup truck, have V2L or vehicle to load capability. That means you can use them to power a bunch of appliances outside of the truck. You've got a hot plate, a water dispenser, a coffee machine. Back here, that's a refrigerator and an air conditioner. I can't tell you how happy I would have been back when I was a Boy Scout to be able to have, I don't know, a microwave on the camping site. I'm not gonna lie, I ate a lot of cold hot dogs. Being a 4x4 that's amazing off-road but kind of crap to drive on public streets is a little bit like being a pro athlete that can dominate on the field but reads at a third-grade level. The TANK 700, however, is more than just a dumb jock. Take, for example, its intelligent energy recovery system. If you set a destination in the navigation, it will allocate its energy based on your target state of charge when you reach the destination. That includes taking into account factors such as congestion and changes in elevation. If you don't set a destination in the navigation, well, then it will base its energy management strategy on your previous driving habits. The 385 kilowatts provided by the combined might of the 3-liter turbocharged V6 and the front-mounted electric motor are pushed through a 9-speed automatic transmission. With the electric motor smoothing out the peaks and valleys and the 3-liter turbocharged V6 power delivery, acceleration is smooth but aggressive. Despite being a hefty boy, this thing can hit 100 kilometers per hour in 5.6 seconds. But if you just want to cruise, the TANK 700 is more than capable of doing that as well. Despite the square shape, NVH is kept well under control thanks to lots of sound deadening and an active noise cancellation system. It's got double wishbone front and rear suspension, and it has adjustable air suspension, so you can just waft down the road. As someone who really loves driving big SUVs, I have to say that I'm really happy with this new era of hybrid SUV. With the GWM Hi4 system, you can have Efficiency when you need it, thanks to the electric powertrain, and yet enough power to overcome whatever obstacle is in front of you when you need that. It's a little bit like having your cake and eating it too. Or in the case of this big SUV, it's a little bit like having your steak and eating it too.